3 out of my last 5 videos now have been about MrBeast. My channel's almost going to start looking like Rosanna Pansino herself. But we have to make a video today about MrBeast because it is a massive update regarding the whole entire Ava Tyson situation that started back like 3 months ago. So if you don't know, to like do a little small recap before we get into it, because there's a bit to cover and I don't want to ramble on too much about what's happened in the past. If you want to, you can, just go look at my channel and you'll be able to find so many videos about the whole entire situation from the start till up until now. 3 months ago, Ava Tyson got accused of talking inappropriate to minors, and then a whole load of Discord messages came out, and then there was the whole MrBeast getting exposed by Dogpack. There's been a lot of bad things that have happened in terms of MrBeast, especially when it comes to Ava Tyson as well. And when all these messages started to come out, started to get leaked about Ava Tyson, MrBeast posted this tweet 3 months ago stating that he is now launching an internal investigation into his MrBeast company, because MrBeast isn't just a person anymore. At least for a while now, he hasn't been just a person. MrBeast itself is now a brand and a company as well. Like, MrBeast is a actual company, and he said that he's going to be launching an investigation into his company regarding all of these like accusations. And now, MrBeast tweeted this a few hours ago, stating that the 3-month-long investigation has actually now come to an end, where he hired a third-party investigation law firm where they reviewed millions of documents, messages, and conducted 39 interviews, and asked to, put out a public statement about this whole entire situation. And the MrBeast company has now officially put out their statement, and we're going to go over that in this video and talk about it in a bit of detail as well. So this first page right here is more of just an introduction to the investigation itself. Now, I'm not going to read over every single little part, because if I do, that's going to take up a massive amount. So if you want to, you can definitely pause it on this part here if you want to read the whole entire introduction about this. But it's basically just, more or less saying that this is the investigation that's being run. We've interviewed a whole load of people. We've looked over millions of documents, messages, and all that kind of stuff. And this is the investigation, and this is like the results that we've found. Now, this is the parts, the main dot points is really the parts that I want to go over and we're going to talk about in this video. So, investigation's findings are as follows, with these 3 points being the main ones, saying the allegations of sexual misconduct between company employees and minors are without basis. The allegations were soundly rejected, including by alleged victims. Allegations of the company knowingly employing individuals with proclivities or histories towards illegal or questionable legal conduct are similarly without basis. Here too, the allegations were uniformly rejected. Several isolated instances of workplace harassment and misconduct were identified during the investigation. The company was informed of such conduct and took swift and appropriate action to address the incidents, including, where necessary, disciplining or letting go of implicated individuals. So we're going to go over each point to talk about it a bit more in detail. Now, the first point, when it says the allegations of sexual misconduct, including pedophilia, grooming, child pornography between company employees and minors, are without basis, saying that these allegations were rejected. I mean, to me, this is extremely hard to actually say that all this was rejected. Obviously, they put out and they questioned a whole load of people. But I mean, didn't we all see the messages that Ava Tyson, or at least when they were identifying as Chris Tyson, were sending towards people? I mean, this was just one of them right here, where this is the person, Lava, who was like basically the center of all the attention, because these were one of the people that was supposedly Chris was, grooming and sending inappropriate messages towards. And this is one of the Snapchats that Chris sent to this underage person saying, coming for America. And like I said, if you want to go ahead and you want to look at the rest of the messages, I've made several videos on this situation. All I have to do is go back and look at my channel, and you'll see so many videos that I've made about all the messages and all the things that Ava Tyson or Chris Tyson, however you want to call them, put out during these times. So to me, I mean, it's kind of hard to see the fact that they didn't find any sexual misconduct when Ava Tyson was sending extremely inappropriate messages towards people within the company, and then also to minors as well. Then there's also the second part as well, saying the allegations of the company knowingly employing individuals with proclivities or histories towards illegal or questionable legal conduct. Now, this is regarding, and this to me, this is even more baffling than the whole entire Ava Chris Tyson situation, because when it comes to these messages, they have to be like, you know, they can probably get away with this on some kind of weird technicality. Like, there has to be some weird technicality of like, oh, these messages aren't specific enough, they're not direct enough, they have to be in person or blah, blah, blah. So there I could see like, you know what, we have a whole load of evidence of Ava Tyson like talking inappropriately to these minors, but maybe it's some kind of stupid technicality when it comes to the law and, you know, trying to, you know, find someone guilty of when it comes to, you know, talking inappropriately to minors. I mean, if you have seen, you know, how people are let off when it comes to a lot of stuff like this in the past, it wouldn't surprise you at all. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm just saying that, you know what, that part getting away with him getting away with it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. But this one, to me, I find even more baffling, because we all remember this guy, right? This person was shown multiple times in MrBeast videos and was always wearing a mask in this situation. Then it came out and it was exposed, I think it was Dogpack who exposed this, that this person was a known pedophile. They were a registered sex offender. They were legit on a sex offenders list, and they were still knowingly hired by MrBeast and then also put in MrBeast videos. And then it's just like, why was this person always wearing a mask? They're obviously wearing a mask at all times to hide their identity. What's the reason for hiding your identity? Well, obviously, when you have a criminal record like this. So to me, I find that part baffling as well. The fact that it's rejected to say that these allegations weren't fine, that the company knowingly employed someone. I mean, was MrBeast company, like, maybe they should be found for, you know, not doing enough background checks when it comes to hiring people. Maybe they didn't do background checks, but at the same time, if you're a company as big as MrBeast, you have to do background checks. If you've ever been hired by a company, you always get a background check. A police check is a mandatory, is majority of the times a mandatory thing that is done whenever you're being hired by a company. And you would think that a company that's putting people in front of a camera like this, especially towards kids, that they would do a police check. Then you question it as well, that like, this guy was always wearing a mask. Why was he wearing a mask? Well, it's obvious to hide his identity. So they had to know. There's no way they didn't know about this. Like, did they just know about it behind the scenes? But on paper, in the MrBeast company, it was never shown that they did a police check on this guy. Is that what was going on? Because they obviously knew, but they didn't know on documents. Maybe that's the way that they got away with this. And in the third point, something that they actually did, because I seen like a couple pages post that like, oh, MrBeast was completely found innocent. Well, he was on two of these points, which to me is still baffling. But on this third one, they weren't. There were several isolated instances of workplace harassment and misconduct that were identified within this investigation. And at the bottom of this document, which we're going to go over now, because this one just speaks for itself, the fact that, you know, these workplace harassments were found, and we've never even heard of this one. It's really funny because it's like we as the public have more evidence of, you know, the first dot point and the second dot point. But in terms of like isolated instances of workplace harassment, I mean, we don't really know too much about that. We know about the first points. We know about Ava Tyson being inappropriate when it comes to minors. And we know about that guy who was like hired by MrBeast, who is a known registered sex offender. But this third point, we don't know about that whatsoever. At least like I don't know about that. Or I never heard about that. There's no like public evidence about that at least I've seen. Maybe there is, and I'm just don't know about it. But if there is, please let me know down below. But as you can see by this third point, as there has been some kind of misconduct found in the company, they themselves have gone ahead and taken action with this. At the bottom of this document, they say that they are going to, they're now putting in place new things within the MrBeast company to like make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen again. And they said that they are sending a clear message regarding tone at the top. They're hiring a new CEO, CPO, which is like a HR manager, a general counsel, and soon to be hired CFO. They are hiring like all new people at the top, which is like, to me, when you are getting rid of this many people at the top, it's obvious that, you know, things weren't going great. It's so obvious that a lot of bad things were happening within your company, and there's probably some things that you have been lucky to get away with. Also stating that they're implementing mandatory corporate training for all employees. I mean, that should have been something that was done beforehand. Developing new policies codified in an employee handbook, establishing an anonymous reporting mechanism hotline for employees, swiftly terminating individuals who violated company policies regardless of their position or level within the company, identifying additional employees for targeted training and executive coaching to address professionalism and compliance with company policy. So at least you can say that they are doing something going forward. But when it comes to this internal investigation. I have seen a lot of people online saying that, wow, MrBeast investigated himself and he found himself innocent. What a surprise. I mean, are we surprised? Oh my God, MrBeast investigated himself and he was found innocent. Whoa, how could this happen? Like, of course this happened. He investigated himself. Well, not really. So the way that this investigation was done is that MrBeast hired a third-party investigation, a third-party law firm to investigate his company. And then the company has to report their findings. And legally, the MrBeast company can't come out with a false statement. So everything that is written in this document is 100% what the third-party law firm spoke about and found within their investigation. Now, you yourself can make an opinion of what you think of that investigation law firm. You yourself could say that, hey, maybe MrBeast was entwined with these guys. Maybe he paid them off a little bit more to say nice things. Maybe, you know, within the MrBeast company, and maybe when it came to the people that they investigated and the alleged victims as well, when it came to like the whole entire Ava Tyson situation, that maybe they paid off these people to not speak about the actual truth. Maybe before the investigation was actually done, they hid a whole load of documents and they deleted a whole load of things, which I mean would be kind of hard to do. But at the same time, it does make you question it a little bit. I definitely feel like there is a lot more to this whole entire situation than we're being led on to believe. Because like I said, is that like with these first 2 points, I showed like clear evidence of this happening. And like I said, when it comes to the first one, there's some technicality that have how Ava Tyson got away with it. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm just saying it's some bullcrap technicality that you see so many, you know, pedophiles get away with these days that absolutely piss me off. But the second one itself, it's just like, that one is just clear as day that there was a person that was working for the MrBeast company who was a registered sex offender. So that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Like I said, I'm completely baffled by this whole entire situation. I would really like to know the details of this investigation, but at the same time, I definitely think that maybe when this investigation was done, maybe MrBeast company was hiding a whole load of things. You know, I don't know. It's very hard, but you can make your own opinions about this, whether you believe this investigation or whether you don't believe this investigation. I'm not here to sway your opinions. I'm not here to give my definitive opinion of whether it's true or not. Like I said, MrBeast company has to say legally, because that investigation firm can sue MrBeast if they come out and falsely state of the actual findings of that law firm. But you can make your assumptions of what you think if that law firm is being truthful or not, or if MrBeast hid some things. But like I said, I feel like we still don't know the full story. And to be honest, when it comes to stuff like this, we never will truly know the full story. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about all this down below. That's going to be it from me. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.